Welcome to our show tonight. This is the second time that we are having the Talking the Vote show. It is a moment for us as a people of Baringo to analyze, talk about the vote, and to really weigh what the vote means to us as a people of Baringo. Monday, we had a guest that was the former Deputy Speaker for Baringo County Assembly. And tonight we are hosting the Majority Leader of the County Assembly of Baringo. He's also the MCA for Lembus Kwen Ward. We'll also get to know where does Lembus Kwen, Lembus Perkera, and the Lembus itself, those three words that are quite of a challenge to really try and understand. And not forgetting, I'm your host, Komen SK. Karibu sana. So, to you as a voter, to you as an aspirant and a leader in Baringo County, this is a platform for you to get to be heard and also to get to really make sense of what the vote means to us. Are we making the correct choices? Come 2022, it's about 263 days right now to the vote that where we'll be electing our governor, Senate, women rep, the MCA, and the MPs. So karibu sana Bwana Lawi.
Asante sana Bwana SK.
Hii ndio ile platform yenye tunaongelea kura.
Asante.
And we are very grateful for you coming here.
Thank you very much.
And maybe before we begin, tujue kwanza Lawi ni nani? Mheshimiwa Lawi ni nani?
Asante sana Bwana SK Komen. Kwa majina naitwa Lawi Kipchumba Talam. MCA wa Lembus Kwen. Na pia ni kiongozi wengi katika Baringo County Assembly. Na ni mkazi wa kijiji cha Captain. Katika kata ndogo ya Lembus ya Poror Arama, that is Poror Arama sublocation, Lembus Central location.
Lembus Central location.
Yeah.
Wengi wetu tunakanganywa. Hata when I was introducing this show, you could see karibu niseme Lembus Perkera, Lembus Kwen.
Yeah.
Where does your word begin na ni wapi na inaishia?
Asante sana Bwana SK. Lembus Kwen huanzia upande wa unapoelekea upande wa Eldoret, kuanzia mtoni hapa Kabonyo. Inaenda mpaka upande wa Arama kule juu. Inaelekea ule msitu wa Chemususu pande ile, Chemususu Dam. Inakava area yote ya Poror. Inakuja pia mpaka upande wa Kamkoech, alafu inapakana na Perkera katika mto wa Perkera River.
Okay, do you have a share of the town?
No.
Oh.
The only share of the town we have is Kabonyo. You are not lucky to have the town. But up there, all the way from Moringo to Poror to Sigoro to Kiptuno, that's where Lembus Kwen lies.
But I understand Moringo is the Lavington of Eldama.
Yeah,
so
you have an estate called Runda in Moringo.
Okay,
yeah.
That's a good thing. And having to understand, maybe Lembus Kwen, where does it begin? Lembus Perkera now. Do you munapakana na Lembus Perkera?
Yeah, tunapakana Lembus Perkera.
Where's the border?
The border is the Perkera River. Lembus Perkera inaanzia Kabdeni, kuelekea ule upande mwingine, kuelekea Kibias na kuteremka mpaka ule upande wa chini, mpaka South.
Yeah, Kabdeni was my first place of stay when I came here in July 2020. Na tunashukuru sana. It's been a nice place to stay around.
Yeah.
Sai I think I'm your voter pale Kabonyoni.
Yeah, kabisa, karibu.
Asante.
The only problem is that we don't have a polling station in Kabonyoni, but in future we'll have one.
But I saw a registration center the other day.
They were just from Moringo. The polling station existing now is just but Moringo. But in future, when the review commission comes, we'll ensure that we have a polling station at Kabonyo.
Lazima tukue nayo.
Yeah.
Now, tumeguzia registration ya kura. I think that's something we'll come to talk about later. But before we go to that, kabla Lawi ya kuwe MCA, what were you doing before that?
Bwana SK, mimi nimekuwa
hustler.
Tangu nilipomaliza kidato cha 4 1997 katika shule ya upili ya Maji Mazuri. By then ilikuwa girls, ilikuwa Maji Mazuri mixed. Nikaja nyumbani nikajifunza biashara. Nilikuwa na interest ya kwenda university by then. Lakini ilikuwa ngumu sana kujoin university wakati huo. Walikuwa wanataka C+ ya 63. And I think I had 59. Nika give up, nikaambia mzee, mimi sasa mambo ya kusoma mzee, wacha niweke kando kidogo. Nikaanza kuhustle, nikaanza biashara ya kuuza mawe.
Kuuza mawe?
Yeah, mawe ya kujenga haya building blocks. Kaanza kakware kangu kadogo, nikapeleka mawe kule upande wa Eldoret. But siku hiyo wakati serikali ilikuwa nzuri, tulikuwa tumepewa kipande cha forest. Tulikuwa tunachonga mawe kule, tunapeleka Eldoret, kusaidia wale watu kule Eldoret kujenga. So ikawa biashara yenye haikuwa mbaya, lakini wakati serikali ya Kibaki ilipochukua usukani the year 2002, forest zote zikafungwa. Mambo ya Kwale ikawa ngumu. Kaanza kufikiria biashara zingine, kafungua hoteli, kafanya nini. Mwaka wa 2005, 2006 nikaajiriwa na former minister wa East Africa Mheshimiwa Musa Sirma. Nikawa katika ofisi yake ya siasa. Na hapo ndio niliweza kujulia mambo ya siasa. Nikawa wala vijana wa kutumwa, angalia diary, kesho nitaenda wapi, kuna mchango pale tupeleka. Na katika hiyo harakati nikawa na interest ya politics.
I see.
The year 2008, 2009 hapo, baada ya Mheshimiwa Sirma kushindwa, nikakaribia biashara ya mbao. Na nikaikaribia na nikakuta kwamba iko biashara mbaya, nikaweza kuifanya. So nilipofanya hiyo biashara yangu ya mbao mpaka the year 20, nimesahau 2002 nilisimama kiti cha udiwani. The year 2002. Councillor.
Wapi ward gani?
Ilikuwa inaitwa Poror ward. Poror ward. Siku hiyo nikaweza kumenyana na wazee. Nikaja namba 3 katika tikiti ya KANU. Siku hiyo ilikuwa lazima ukate life member ya KANU. Na nikawa na life member ya KANU by the year 2000.
Life member, are you still a member of KANU?
No, KANU tulitoka.
Okay.
So nikaanza biashara ya mbao mpaka juzi wakati 2017 ndio nikawa na interest ya hiyo siasa bado yenye nilikuwa nimejaribu na nikaamua kung'ang'ania kiti cha Lembus Queen na nikashinda. Yeah.
Safari yako umesema you started as a business person, hustle pole pole hadi kwenye umefika. Ni nini haswa ili kuondoa kwenye biashara ikakupeleka kwenye siasa?
Si kuondoka kwenye biashara, but I just felt that my people are not represented well. Nilikuwa naona ya kwamba kuna ulegevu mahali. Na sisi tukiwa wadogo tulikuwa tunaambiwa ukienda kule Kabarnet, watu wa Kabarnet ni watu tough sana. So I also felt like a man, I wanted to face these people. Nilikuwa nataka kwenda Kabarnet kuonana nao wanaume. But nilipofika kule nikakutana na wao, nikaomba pia kiti cha majority leader na wakanipa. So siwezi sema ya kwamba wale watu wa Kabarnet ni watu wabaya, hapana, ni watu wazuri sana. It's only that they are also tough. Yani they are also tough.
Yeah. I see. And you know, the first time we met, I think it was immediately after the election, the new regime.
Yeah.
The MCAs, I think there was a meeting in 30 Corners, one of the hotels pale Kabarnet.
Yeah.
And it was evident kwamba the new crop of MCAs ni watu walikuwa established.
Yeah.
I could see a number of Prados, unlike the previous regime.
Yeah.
Most of them didn't even have cars. Then when they came in, that's when they started to buy cars. Wengine wakaanza ku upgrade, maisha ikabadilika namna hiyo.
Okay, bwana SK, I think 2013 watu wako wamejua ikiketi ya MCA ni nini. Yani wako wamejua how strong it is, how influential it is. Na hawakuchukulia uzito, so walipowachilia kila mtu aliweza kuchaguliwa.
And that informs my question. Do you think the current crop of MCAs, kulingana na maoni yako as a majority leader, compared to the previous regime, how is the strength?
I can assure you, Bwana SK, the current assembly of Baringo is a very good assembly, a very stable assembly. Those are the people who cannot be shaken. And that's, I can revert mpaka mambo ya juzi, mambo ya BBI. If Baringo MCs were weaker people, they were to be given 300,000 by KANU. But when you see people leaving money and voting the right way, I think they are the right people. They cannot be shaken. We have very strong men and women in Baringo County Assembly.
I think that's encouraging, having a county assembly that can be impartial at times, and even people who can face the governor and tell him that this is wrong, this is right, and this needs to be sorted out, or this, we can't agree on this until this is sorted. That's encouraging. Now, to your role as a county assembly majority leader, how did you end up mobilizing people to choose you? Is it an elective position, or is it just by a majority agreement by the Jubilee affiliated MCAs?
Bwana SK, the majority leader seat is a very competitive seat. It's a very big seat, and it's selective. In fact, I just managed to move. I just managed to move around and convince my colleagues. In fact, I started by solidifying Ravine vote, which is 6. So in fact, when you have 6, you are a very strong man. So when I got 6, I moved to Mogotio, then to the other wards. And I had a good reception from my colleagues, and I won very easily.
Wow.
But due to 1 or 2, 3, I also faced an impeachment in between, but I also managed to go through it by only 1 vote. But I remained the majority leader.
Now that you've brought about impeachment, why were people attempting to impeach you?
in politics, Bwana SK, you cannot all read from the same page. And I can still remember very clearly that my impeachment was caused by, we differed with my colleagues and my friends on the replacement of the clerk. The clerk, who was from Nandi. And after being
Joseph Kwech,
when Joseph Kwech was impeached, some of my colleagues were his close friends, and they felt that I was doing a wrong thing, and they came for my neck. But unfortunately, I survived.
Fortunately, you survived. Your role as a county assembly majority leader. Watu wengi amjua waelewi kazi yako ni nini. Labda utueleze kazi yako ni nini pale assembly.
Bwana SK, majority leader ni kiongozi ya chama. Kiongozi ya chama kule bungeni. Na aswa kazi yake kubwa ni kumake sure kwamba hoja za serikali or the intentions of the government are not turned down in the floor of the house. So una make sure kwamba kila kitu yenye labda governor ameleta haijaangushwa. Because kama for this case, Baringo County Assembly, see the biggest party ni Jubilee, the former Jubilee, of which I don't think Saibado Tuko Jubilee. Lakini the majority, that one MCS from Baringo County Assembly come from Jubilee. And we have 11 from Kano and nominated MCS. But the governor also is a Jubilee governor. So as a majority leader, you ensure that you make sure that no business of the government is brought to the house and fails. So you do survey, you make sure that you mobilize members with the assistance of the whip, and you make sure that all the businesses or the intentions of the government are delivered. And for your case, Bwana SK, none of any business of the government has ever failed in Baringo County Assembly. I've managed, all of them have passed.
So if today,
no budget has failed, though I'm not the chairman of budget, but those are the government agendas. Budget zote zilipita, appointment zote za serikali ziliweza kupita. Hakuna hoja hata moja Baringo County Assembly ya serikali ambaye iliweza kuanguka wakati wangu.
Lakini mliangusha BBI.
BBI hiyo sasa si ya serikali. In fact, tulikuwa na problem. We had a very big problem because wakati wa kuangusha BBI, most of my MCS huwa tuna agree before to fight. So most of the time huwa tunasemanga ai. So wakati hiyo kusema nay ilikuwa problem because they are not used to saying nay. And actually kupitisha BBI karibu wengine waseme ai badala ya kusema nay. But do speaker alikuwa anaelewa akasema the nay service.
What has been nini ile unasema as a majority leader has been your biggest achievement at the County Assembly of Baringo?
I cannot point out one because kama kungekuwa na changamoto labda biashara hii ilipita, hii ikupita, ningesema niliachieve kwa kupitisha hii. Lakini nakwambia Bwana SK, hakuna hoja ya serikali hata moja bungeni imeweza kuanguka. So, na hiyo ni kupitia hata huwa we differ, lakini una lobby. You lobby mpaka hata ukijua hii biashara haitapita, una post kwanza, ukifika mali inaitwa house business. A majority leader anakuwa kiketi na nini, anakuwa kikao inaitwa house business, ambaye kwanza mnaangalia hoja before ile kwa floor. So ukiwa majority leader na usense ya kwamba hii kitu ni kama haitapita kule kwa floor, una make sure kwanza umekanyangia kwa house business isiletwe kwa floor. Because any business ikianguka ni serikali imeanguka. And I have really assisted the government of Kiftis. Hakuna kitu hata moja. We have given them as an assembly a total support, the best support.
I see.
Yeah.
So if today Kiftis, God forbid, gets a tough competition, nyi mtasema kama Jubilee MCS,
we did our part.
You did your part.
Yeah.
Well, does this seat of the county assembly majority leader, what privileges does it come with? If today I'm elected at MCA, what would make me go for this seat?
One good thing with the majority leader is that you have influence. You have the influence in the government. You sit in very many committees. At least the difference, the allowance difference between the majority leader and the other MCAs is a difference of 4,000. A chairman of a committee earns 26,000 as a responsibility allowance, but the majority leader earns 30,000. So it's only a difference of 4,000. But the only advantage that majority leader has is that he can sit in many committees. You have to sit in house business. You have to sit in liaison. A liaison is a committee of all chairs. So the majority leader is the vice chair. And then you sit in procedure and rules. That's where the disciplinary of MCAs is being done. You have that advantage of sitting in many committees. That's the only privilege of the majority leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as looking at sitting in those various positions, you've said umeongelea pesa kidogo, and I think that would be something of interest.
Yeah.
Allowance.
Yeah.
A chairman, 26,000.
Yeah. as a yani ukiwa na responsibility allowance, after salary unapata allowance ya per month ya kwamba uko na responsibility ya kuwa chair.
So you are added an extra
4,000.
Okay.
Yeah, any chair is added 26,000.
How much is an allowance for an MCA, normal MCA, who's just a member of a given?
Allowance of any MCA is that you are paid per sitting. Any sitting you just sit in a committee, you are being paid.
Okay.
Yeah, but a smaller amount than the chairman.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, outside that, we've understood the role of a majority leader in the assembly.
Before I also forget, Bwana SK, a majority leader is a chair of a select committee called selection committee. In this selection committee is where you plan that such particular MCA sits in a certain committee. So that's where you can be able to reward your foot soldiers. I can say, Mr. SK, because you are my foot soldier and you made me get my seat, I'll make sure that you sit in budget or you sit in finance, or you can also sit in roads. That's the majority leader chairs that committee called selection committee.
I see.
So with that privilege of being closer to the MCAs and having that command is when you can have that influence in the house, because a majority leader with the help of the whip can whip you from that position.
Now, talking of influence, and you're an MCA for the Lembus Queen ward.
Yeah.
Out of your influence, what can you say about how much has Lembus Queen benefited from your position as a county assembly majority leader?
Bwana SK, in politics you cannot just anika everything. But I can assure you that my ward has benefited a lot from my position. Yeah. Have in mind that I'm also a member of budget committee. Being the chair of select committee, I'm also a member of budget committee. And being a member of budget committee, you are able to assess, you are able to sit with other people while allocating funds.
So if today mpiga kura pale Kabunyonyi akuulize wewe kama majority leader umetofanyia nini? Ameacha kuangalia wewe kama MCA, sasa amekuangalia kama majority leader, utamwambia nini?
Kama mtu ya Kabunyonyi naweza mwambia labda hakukuwa na pesa ya barabara ya Kabunyonyi, lakini very soon utaona barabara ya Kabunyonyi kwenda mpaka kwa Tumo ikiundwa. Kuanzia kwa Tumo mpaka kwenda kwa Pastor Michael Bomet itaundwa very soon. Pia wataona barabara ya kutoka kwa Mzungu panaitwa Sunrise Acres mpaka pale panaitwa Soweto ama Sainet ikiundwa very soon. Hiyo sasa naweza sema ilikuwa ni privilege yangu kama majority leader. Haikuwa kwa ward fund. Lakini with the influence of that seat, niliweza lobby for that money.
Well, that's a good example. And I'm sure if anyone who's watching and is from Kabunyonyi would get to really relate with the roads that you've mentioned. And to you, the viewer, should you have a comment and a suggestion of how we can improve our shows, or even something that you want us to know during this show, you can text us or send us a WhatsApp message through our office number 0799 030 030 0799 030 030. That's our number. You notice that it has a code of Baringo County 030. And should you also have something to say, you can tell us something on the comment section. I have my machine here. I'm seeing your comments. I can see Francisca Cherutich. That's an MCA, right?
Yeah.
Anasema kwamba, welcome my brother majority leader. He's Mary Mudhoni, who is also a youth leader here. She's saying she's following the discussion and in the interviewing skills. Asante, she's appreciating what we are doing here. Philip Yator, you're watching from Nairobi. You can also tell us where you're watching us from. Kibet Emmanuel, you're saying Lawi has done absolutely nothing in Lembus Queen. And you expect that, as you said, you cannot please everyone while in politics. Philip Yator, you're saying, sorry, I think Philip Yator is defending you in one way or another. Then Lori Tanui, you're saying it's a good interview. We still have quite a number of minutes to discuss this. And so, should you have any comment, any view, any maoni yenye uko nayo kuhusu hii mjadala wetu tuko nayo hapa na majority leader wa Baringo County Assembly, you can send us Go to the comment section, leave your comment there. We'll be able to acknowledge, or give a WhatsApp message. We'll be able to select or rather pick it and read it out. Now, you've talked about having the privilege, and you've pointed out a few things that a majority leader has. Now, to your Lembus Queen ward. I've been here for about a year, and I see a very unique behavior or phenomenon among the MCAs in Ravine. A week will not go before I see you in one of the joints. Mnakunywa chai, mnakula lunch. And last year, I think it was almost a time like this. No, it was around July or June, thereabout. Ravine became the first constituency to pool resources and buy road construction equipment to a tune of about 150 million. Was that? Your togetherness, does it, what do you usually discuss? Who moja wenyu do we attribute to the progress yenye mnafanya as a constituency?
Thank you very much, Bwana SK. Our togetherness or our that closeness of ours has really assisted us a lot. Sisi kama MCS wa Ravine tulipofika huko, tukakaa chini na tukakuta ya kwanza sisi ni watu machua wote. Tukaanza kujiuliza zile mashida tuko nazo. Unakuta kwamba ile shida iko Lembus ward, na ile shida iko Ravine ward, na ile shida iko kwa Ibatek, they are almost the common problems. Na tulipoona ya kwamba hii pesa huwa tuna allocate, tukienda kwa public participation, kuna pooling of resources. Kila mtu anajaribu kusema ya kwamba nataka iende kwa village yangu, nataka iende kwa village yangu fulani, mwingine anataka iende kwa village B. So inapogawiwa hivyo unakuta barabara iko na milioni 1. So kuenda kuweka hii milioni 1 kwa barabara ikianza kufanywa kitu inaitwa BQ, utakuta kwamba itakuwa na grading, labda light bush clearing. Alafu unakuta hiyo barabara hata kama ni kilomita 5 ikifanywa sana ni nusu kilomita. Tukaona kwamba sisi kama MCs hatuta achieve. Tukaona faida mingi inaenda kwa contractor. Contractor anataka faida. Serikali pia inataka 16% VAT. Alafu hiyo time pia, hiyo window ya procurement process inataka a lot of time. Kitambo ianze kutangazwa, imeenda sijui evaluation, sijui imeenda wapi, inataka a lot of time. So tukaona kwamba the only way out is that we purchase these machines. For one, hakuna procurement itakuwa inafanywa. Tukaagiri kama MCS huwa tuna vote. As for now iko Perkara ward. We vote, tunasema nani atakuwa number 1, nani atakuwa number 2, nani atakuwa number 3. And we have really achieved. Like for example in my ward, I managed to nilifanya karibu 30 kilometers in 2-3 weeks.
30 kilometers in 3 weeks.
Na kwa hiyo 30 kilometers unakuta kwamba si ile mara ya kuwekelewa ile ya kubembeleza. Ile barabara ikiundwa mzuri na ikanyagwa na roller inaweza hata 5 years. Itakuwa tu ku maintain mambo ya drainage na kadhalika. So we have done a lot. We are now in round 2. In round 2, and I'm telling you Bwana SK, tutakapofika kati round 5, 6 huko, iko imezunguka kwa kila ward mara 6, hakutakuwa na barabara imebaki. Ulikuwa umenioji mambo ya maintenance. Maintenance.
And that is what I was to come to. Kuna wakati when these equipment were launched, I had a conversation with some of the leaders huko kwetu, ni mkaaji wa Marigat ward. And someone raised, in fact my MCA akasema, this would be a flop. Kwa nini? Maintenance, actually alisema monitoring, is it M&E or what?
M&E means monitoring and evaluation.
Monitoring and evaluation.
But I thought he meant maintenance.
And maintenance of this equipment would be a challenge. It's been 1.5 years now. How are these equipment and what have been the challenges as the county or rather the ward at the ward level maintaining these machines?
Nakupata Bwana SK, the only problem ile tumepata ni intolerance from the voters. Zikiwa upande wa Lembus Queen, wakazi wa Ibatek wamelalamika. Zimekaa Lembus Queen sana. Zikiwa upande wa Perkara, but hii round 2 at least tumepata time ya kufanya kazi.
Na maintenance.
Maintenance ni rahisi sana. These are new machines. These are very new machines. Ile kitu inataka tu ni tire. What you have been buying is just but tire na service. A new lorry can work for 5 years bila kusumbua. And as we talk, huwa tunaweka pesa. Tunaagiri kila MC aweke milioni 8. Kwa hii milioni 8 tunaweza weka milioni 5 ya mafuta kwa kila ward, tunaweka kwa pool. Alafu sasa tume advance Ikikuja kwa ward yako tunaweka kwa red mark, umeanza na pesa fulani, utamalizia pesa fulani. Ndio tuone ya kwamba if you are lucky because somebody like Obote from Perkera is very lucky, the Maram is just at the doorsteps. So kama Maram iko karibu na kwako, you'll be advantage, utafanya barabara kubwa. If you come from the far end, like someone like Ben Koech from Timbarua, Torongo there, Maram kwake iko mbali kidogo. But utakuta ya kwamba it is more profitable than mambo ya contractually mambo ya contracts. Yeah. Contracts ina take a lot of time. Usikutane na contractor yule sumbuvu, atapata barua na akuje kwa site. Like for now, SK uchumi imeharibika sana. I have 4 ECDs kwa ward yangu. Tumepea barua contractor, ashachukua acceptance letter ya kwamba yeye ni contractor na amepotea. Because ataanza kwanza kwenda bank kuomba loan. Hiyo time ya kwenda kuomba loan kwa bank, raia huko anakusumbua. Tumekwama, tumefanya nini?
And I hope ajalipwa because there are quite a number of
ajalipwa. Nobody in Baringo County can be paid without doing the job. Never.
Okay.
Lazima kwanza ikuje ifanywe kitu inaitwa lazima akuja assess ya kwamba umefanya, ipigwe picha na nini. Nobody can be paid bila kufanya.
Well, on the roads, I think that sounds like a good deal. Can you advise other counties or other sub-counties to adopt your model?
For your information, SK, wakati watu sisi MCS Ravine tulipoanza kufanya kazi, because unajua kila mtu is very proud of what he's doing. We have been taking photos, we have been posting. In fact, our MCS came, our colleague MCS came pleading to us that don't finish us, jamani. Tumalize because by the moment we post, unatumaliza kule kwa ground. And as we talk, SK, Baringo South, Honorable Emlem, Kipruta Kimoso, Honorable Parsalach, Honorable Parkei, I think their machines have arrived. They have also bought a grader, 2 lorries or 3 lorries and an excavator.
So from being a critic to an adopter, the same idea.
Baringo Central they have bought their machines. They have a dozer, they have a grader, and they have an excavator. So as we talk, people are going that way. And I'm telling you, Bwana SK, we go this way, in the next 10 years, we'll never have any problem of roads in Baringo County. We'll only be addressing other issues.
Well, on estimate, you said you built or rehabilitated over 30 kilometers of roads in 1 week, in 1 month, was it? On estimate, ward yako umeunda barabara kilomita kiasi ngapi?
Na estimate kwa nimefanya 30 kilometers.
In total.
And I'm telling you, 30 kilometers ingefanya valuation, kama ingekuwa ni contract, I'm telling you ingekuwa 45 million. Within 1 round. I'm now waiting for the second round. And I'm sure I'll do another 25 to 30 kilometers. So unaona, within that, kwa hii time yangu, nitakuwa nimefanya barabara, labda value that, say 40, give an average of 40 million. Nitakuwa nimefanya kazi ya 80 million. Na hii 80 million, nitakuwa nimetoa capital ya 25 million ya kununua machines peke yake. Alafu hii maintenance kidogo. Due to that, Bwana SK, I have managed to save. Mimi sasa kwa ward yangu nilimanage to save because pesa mingi iende kwa barabara, anapeleka zingine kwa maji. And I have managed to save kwa mambo ya empowerment. As we talk, I'm awaiting things. Yani, na wait for valuable things. Cows, heifers. I'm ready to buy. I'm now purchasing heifers for youth groups and women and PWDs. Heifers, those are dairy cows.
Out of the savings that you made?
The savings I've made from the roads. I'm purchasing chicks. I'm purchasing tents for the youth groups and women, so that they'll be hiring them and better their lives in their rural areas.
That's a good thing. But before we go to that, so that we can appreciate how much you're saving and what these savings can go to. What would be the cost of constructing a 25, 30, let's say 60 kilometers of road if you were to use a contractor?
I'm telling you, Bwana SK, if you were to use a contractor to make those 60 kilometers, put an estimate of around 1.5 to 2 million per kilometer. So put it 1.5. Call time is 60.
So that goes to about
75 million.
80 million.
Call it 70 million. So unaona utakuwa unafanya kazi mingi sana.
A whole 10 million. That's good enough. And maybe as we continue with the show, there is one of the governorship aspirants anasema kwamba atafunga some of the pilferages ndio aweze kutumia hiyo savings kwa mambo ingine. Tutakuja kwa hiyo baadaye.
Asante.
I'm sure you have data of the whole constituency, yani the wards that you coordinate among or rather with your colleague MCAs. on average hii constituency ya Ravine mumejenga barabara kama kilomita ngapi?
For the first round, we were to do 5. And actually, I don't think anybody did 5. Some did 10, depending on the distance of the marathon. Some did 12, some did what? So give an average everyone of 10. 10 times 6, that is 60. So round 2, which is now almost getting completed, call it 60.
Yep.
Yeah. So now up and around 120 kilometers of Maram Road.
And for sure, have been staying here. Much of our business of covering events live, covering makoito, weddings, funerals. The roads here are quite passable, if I may say, quite. Yeah. And to me, I would say as a resident here, I can feel the improvement, really, and not in any way favoring anybody, but a witness from someone who is a road user, a regular road user. Now, what is the future? Who manages this equipment, and what does the future look like for them?
Honestly, Bwana SK, the future of these machines is bright. Because once they will start getting old, we will not be doing the overhaul of engine or what. We are prepared to buy a full engine. These are machines from China. They are the Shackman. They come from China. The engines are very cheap. So we are planning that when they start developing problems, once we can have a problem ya gearbox, we buy a new gearbox, we fix it. And utapata ya kwamba we are saving. Si kama ya kungoja contractor pia ako na machines yake na bado anangojea faida na bado anangoja nini, lakini because hii ni yetu pale wa problem tu inaingilia ni viongozi wakisonga kando, because you can have rock officers waanze kutoa spare 1 2 3, but saa ikiwa kwa ward yako ikilala penye imelala, it is your responsibility to make sure pale imelala umeweka watchman mwenyewe at your cost. At your cost. It is better to pay a watchman than to use a lot of money campaigning. That's our motto.
Great. Who pays the drivers and the operators of these machines?
We pay it from the kitty. The kitty we have. Out of the 8 million I've told you we put aside, we have the salaries of these workers of ours, the allowances, and fuel. The fuel comes from there. We also have the kitty to pay for the maram. You know, we don't have our own maram.
So you have to buy.
You have to buy maram from the locals there.
Well, that sounds like an innovative way of doing things, and I believe if our leaders can be prudent, or rather can be innovative in their way of making decisions, the mwananchi would always get the best, or we are the taxpayers. This money is paid by the taxpayers.
To add on that point, Bwana SK, if you travel to Uasin Gishu, when Mandago got the first election, he purchased the machines used to make a tarmac road, and no corner of Eldoret city is unaccessible. Everywhere is maram. Go to Kimumu, go to Elgon View, go everywhere is maram is tarmacked. Simply because he never went to the contract way, he bought the machines. And I was privileged one day to meet Mandago. He had came here to Ravine for a fundraising. And once I whispered to him that we have purchased machines, he told me, Heko, that is the way to go. He told us, I've done it in Uasin Gishu, and it is perfect.
Well, I think up to there, you've gotten much of what the Mheshimiwa of Lembu's Queen has done with regards to building roads. And we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll get to give him an opportunity to give us an overview of what he has done during his first term, so that we can graduate into maybe talk about the county politics and a little bit of the national politics before we close the show. So we are going to take a break. Stay there. See you in a minute or two. Karibu tena. We continue with our conversation. Before we left, or rather before we took a break, we were talking about how much the decisions of the MCAs in Ravine, led by the majority leader, has transformed the road network in the constituency. And maybe before we shift to the politics of Baringo and maybe the country, you can take like 2 minutes, give us an overview of what you're doing for the people of Lembu Square. I think the road network was something that was of concern to me, because I also wanted to learn of how this innovative way of doing things has transformed the road network. Now tell us, unafanyia nini watu wa Lembus, na ni nini unafikiria kwamba umefanya na watu wanafaa kuwa wana appreciate?
Nashukuru sana Bwana SK. Jambo la kwanza nilipopata hiki kiti ya Lembu Square, nilipata vitu mingi sana zikiwa upside down. Nilipata priorities zilikuwa upside down. Like for our case there, I got a place ya kwamba mtu alikuwa award pesa ya kununua bus. Na kusema anataka mambo ya talents, ku extract talents. You cannot extract talents from the bus. And I managed to change the money for that bus. Na nikaunda viwanja vya mpira. Nikaunda viwanja 7. And as we talk, we have 7 good fields in Lembu Square. And as we progress also, I'm going to supply them very soon with full uniform, mpaka boots. Waanze kucheza sasa kwa hiyo mauwanja na itaondoa mambo ya idleness kwa mambo ya vijana.
And also build talent.
And build talent.
I think we have 2 players who are playing at a national level. There is Lawi Kipchumba. I think he plays for the KDF. And then there's another gentleman, I'm forgetting his name. So
we have another one playing for Lindsay from Poror. He comes from Poror Mote here.
Poror Mote. From this club.
From this club of Poror Mote. So nika decide ya kwamba wacha nianze kwanza na infrastructure. And I did that perfectly. Zile projects za maji nilikuta zimehang. And I was not sure kama hazitafanya. Like one I have in mambo ya inaitwa Toigoin. Nilikuta ya kwamba ilikuwa underway. Nikafuatilia mimi mwenyewe, and as we talk, people who had not seen tapped water, hawakuwa wameona tapped water, are now drinking very clean tapped water in Lembu Square. Pili, nikakuta kwamba kulikuwa na kuna mabiashara zingine ambazo si ya maana sana. Kwa unakuta mabazi yamefunguliwa mpaka kijijini. Nikazifunga zote. Ba. In the name of revenue account. Nikazifunga zote, and as it took, we don't have a single bar in Lembu Square, and that's what I'm proud of.
Wait. You closed bars?
Yeah.
How did you even go about it? Because I can imagine the backlash.
I ensured that everything, public participation is being done. And once I got any bar being licensed, I had to tell the licensing committee to stop first. And we go to the ground.
Tuulize raia
mnakubali hii bar hapa. Because nilipoingia ilikuwa complaint kila mahali. And I'm telling you Bwana SK, as we talk, we don't have a single bar in Lembu Square, and I'm proud of it.
Wow.
Ukiwa na pesa zako, ukiwa na hela zako, because kukunywa ni lesha. Ukiwa upande wa sigara na unasikia kweli ni lazima ukunywe, panda matatu kuja Ravine town, ukunywe na urudi nyumbani. You know why Bwana SK? Baadhi kiweza kuingia kule reserve, wanatafuta watu wanaitwa clients. Na utakuta ya kwamba because wanataka clients, itabidi atawauzie mwanafunzi because the stock ziko na lazima zitoke.
Lazima.
Most of this brew kenye nauzwa hii second generations, most of them zinafanywa vituko. I know of several youth who have taken this alcohol and have gone. Mtu anakunywa hii pombe na in 2 minutes 3 minutes time ameenda, because unaweza fikiria ni kwamba ile certifyiwa ama in ya standard, lakini wanaziripack and ni very dangerous. So I made sure kwamba my people are free from this alcohol. Ingawa mambo ya pombe haitaweza isha, lakini I've tried my best. The only problem ile sasa tuko nayo ni mambo ya changa, hii mambo ya 10-10, hii mambo ya nini. But I think sisi wote kama viongozi tukishirikiana na viongozi wengine, MCA akishirikiana na chief na washirikiana na MP ambaye the core mandate yake ni mambo ya security. Tukiweza kufanya kazi wote kwa mrengo moja na kuambia Ravine itachange.
Well, mambo ya pombe, I think that is a good move because it's a serious issue across the constituency. When you go to a rally, you go to a baraza, there is always an AOB or even a main agenda, how to reduce the level of drunkenness among the youth. So you're investing in talent. You've graded, or rather you've graded the fields. you're reducing alcohol consumption. What else are you doing for the people of Lembu Square?
I'm now focusing on empowerment. Empowerment.
What kind of empowerment?
You make sure that each and every youth, at least each and every group wako na kuunda umoja mbili ya kuchunga. Kuliko kukua idle.
Something that revenue generating.
And I'm now focusing on Lembu Square Revolution Fund.
Lembu Square
Revolution Fund. That sisi kama Baringo County MCS, we've passed a budget, we've passed a bill ya cooperatives. Na inatukubalia sasa tuweke pesa kwa vitu kama sako.
What does this revolving fund do?
I'm now planning from the savings to take some amount of money and do with a bank. We join to any bank that will agree with us to manage this fund for us. And from that kitty is when youth can come and borrow the loan with a very small interest and then return it back with a very small interest. That money will be revolving. That's what I mean by revolving fund.
Well, we heard of this during the previous regime. I was a very active youth then when it came to county government, running of the county government, doing social audit in partnership with some of the organizations. And there was a suggestion by the governor at that time to introduce a revolving fund. How sustainable is it?
For your information, it is very wrong to give out money on a political way. So I think the problem that happened that time, I am aware of what happened. The money was being given out on a political. Ilikuwa tu ni mwanasiasa ameleta pesa. Lakini ikifika mahali utachukua pesa kutoka kwa bank, my friend. Itabidi uache mpaka security ama ikuwe ile ya kusaini, unasainiwa na unapewa collateral, yani unasainiwa na guarantors.
So you are banking on the financial institution to control the lending.
Yeah. With that one of the previous regime, I know of a place who never returned those money. Tiati took it and took it. Ilichukua kabisa for.
Na sasa ikakuwa kama hii ya Uwezo Fund. Do you know there are some groups that have never refunded?
Yeah. But
so, and I'm not sure, did they go through a bank or it was also
just
political?
It was just political.
Now,
but this one of mine now, we will make sure kwamba imepitia kwa bank.
Na sasa
either boresha ama kama Skyline kama hapa.
Sasa mheshimiwa,
mnashika pesa pump kwa bank na kuambia wa you manage these funds.
Sasa mheshimiwa,
alafu mnawapea commission.
Mimi hapa kama MNSK, I'm one of your biggest supporters. We have a very vibrant youth group that made sure that you clinched your first term. Na ndio hii fund hapa. Skyline are the ones who are managing
the fund.
Sisi tukuje tukuambie mheshimiwa, tumefika kwa bank, wakatuambia hii na hii hatuna. Ongelesha hawa.
It will be a non-political bwana SK. Let me assure you, because you know why. Na ile kitu tunamaanisha anything tied to a politician will be political, but to this one I know very serious gentlemen. Kuna vijana wale wako very serious na biashara. What they are lacking in the capital. Na vijana kama wao wako serious na wapate hiyo nafasi ya capital, they will prosper. So we want to delink it from the politics
and
it will succeed.
Na sasa
and for your information bwana SK, the only sub county ilirudisha pesa 100% ni Ravine. For your information.
Well, pongezi for that.
Ravine ilirudisha ikifuatwa na Mogotio.
Now let me ask you something before we quit the conversation around the revolving fund. How much are you planning to put into that revolving fund?
I'll start with around 10 million.
And who are the main beneficiaries? Who are your target groups?
I'm targeting the women group and the youth group.
Women and youth group.
How
many youth groups does your ward have?
We have several youth groups.
Can you give a number?
Around now who applied for the items I told you are around 108.
108. How about the women groups?
Total women group and youth groups. I have 108 I've so far applied
in total. So if say there's 10 million here, each group would be going with around 100,000. Well, that's a good amount to do something substantial. Anything else? 30 seconds before we move to something else.
I'd also like to see that all sides of Lembu Square have tap water. And this is it is very possible. Having in mind now that Chemsusu Dam lies in Lembu Square.
Well, let me check on the comments. Maybe there's someone is saying before we go into the county politics. I can see Titus Kipchumba, you're saying great work. Following the show at Sigoro tuambie story ya stima kunaendaje.
Ni mambo ya MP. Sitaki to dwell na hiyo ambia ni mambo ya MP.
Okay, sawa amesikia. Someone is saying they're watching the show. That is Catherine Legeto Kisimbi. The show is productive. We need leaders who are innovative. Good work, sir. Well, moving on to the county politics. There's a clip that we are going to play. It is one of the gubernatorial candidates. And we are discussing this because the candidate comes from Eldama Ravine. He's also the current MP. There's a term, there's a new word in the dictionary that came to be defined. And maybe, Fundi wa Mtambo, you can play the clip, let the viewer listen, then we'll also play a response from the MCA here. You had a response on that. And why we are doing it is because it is a trendy conversation right now. This word has created conversations around the campaigns.
Yeah.
Let's take a look and come and discuss it.
Mamwachi tanya orerie na orerie million pokol tisap engenyi chebo ponwek okuyan bichu Baringo eku gavana sayuet tanya
lesenet ko lugolen
ako gavana no
mi kine kererio teta ko loiwet ayuet teta
ayuet tanya ako ayuet
mai kwata ko nya to kwenda ka bai kai kwatin nyedet
tapte botinyo ni ngau TMCA ayuet tanya
otinya kwesete met
magiti jawara
akole sai
sitabe borste sai
yetwesete man goro
magimwae kii nekile kiwete kikiroi mamwae muren kele kiwete magimwae kiyo oripkei.
Baringo, tunajua mambo ni mengi, tunajua siasa inakaribia na tumeweza kuona watu wakizunguka kila kona wakiomba kura. Ningependa pia kuambia rafiki yangu wa karibu sana Mheshimiwa Moses Resonet ambaye amefanya kazi kwa tamu ya 3. Ikiwa uko na haja na hii kiti ya governor, Mheshimiwa Resonet, uza sera. Hapana uza siasa ya chuki, hapana uza siasa ya fitina, hapana uza siasa ya porojo, hapana tumia propaganda. I just want to clarify to you ya kwamba ile pesa assembly budget yote inapata ni 700 million. So nikisikia ukiongelea 700 million, mara ayuete teta, mara sijui waliain, the 700 million you are talking of ni mshahara ya wafanyikazi, ni mshahara ya MCAs, inanunua mafuta, mambo ya recurrent na kila kitu. So hiyo budget yote unaongelea ni mambo ya assembly. Na kila kitu iko na kazi yake. Uza sera zako Mheshimiwa Lesonet. Uza ile kazi umefanya Eldama Ravine. Sisi kama wakazi wa Eldama Ravine tunajua ile kazi umefanya na tunajua ile hujawahi fanya. Kwanza tunajua hujawahi weka lami hata mita 2 Eldama Ravine. So uza ile kitu uko na plan ya kufanya. Lakini sio kuuza fitina. Mara wengine sijui ameenda trip, sijui ameenda wapi. Mimi mwenyewe nimetoka Greece, nimeshuka jana na siaibiki. Ile kitu nimeleta huko nitakuja kufunza watu yangu. Vile vitu tumeona maendeleo ya huko tutakuja kuimplement kwa kaunti yetu ya Baringo. Mambo ya tourism, tuliona ya kwamba Greece ni nchi ambayo iko na population ya watu 11 million. Na tourist wanaweza kushuka Greece ni tourist milioni 40. So we wanted to know the secret ya kwamba hao wanafanya nini ndio wapate watalii kama haya. And we have the information now. Great history, rich history. The Greek people wako na history dated mpaka 300 years ago. Na ukienda huko ataweza kukuambia historia yao. So we also want watu ya Baringo tukue na historia yetu, ile mtu akikuja you tell where you've come from and it will be attractive to our tourists. We have the Arorin Tugenesis. Now kuna museum tunataka kuunda upande wa Baringo North inaitwa Arorin Tugenesis. Itakuwa njia nyingine ya kuattract watalii. Tunajua mzee Moi alipokuwa president alizunguka sana Kenya akifanya marketing ya Lake Bogoria, akifanya marketing ya nini. So pia sisi kama viongozi wa sasa lazima tuzunguke to market Kenya. Nchi kama Greek kwanza haina ambassador Kenya. So tulitumia mtu anaitwa consulate, mtu mwenye amejitolea kuunganisha Kenya na Greece. So pia wewe si hapana wageni kwako, tunajua ile matrip umeenda, lakini let us not talk of the issue of trips na nini. Sell your agenda Mheshimiwa Lesonet. And kama itakuwa siasa yako ni ya fitina peke yake itakuwa ngumu. Asante sana.
Well, you're even laughing yourself. But before that, We've taken time as Baringo News to break down, or rather to translate the first clip. It was done in Kalenjin. Mheshimiwa Lesonet, who is eyeing the seat of the seat of the governor, he wants to be the third governor. At some point, he was saying that he wants to control the foreign trips, and somehow he focused so much on the MCAs, and that is why tonight we are having the majority leader here, so that he can give his side of the story. And looking at how it came out, there is a response from Mwananchi pale, understand pale Sigoro. I don't know. We didn't get the name of that person. Resident number 1. You must have seen on the subtitles. And the first resident is saying, "Atuna stima, unasema you will control." Kuna hiyo word wanasema yuet. Maybe to define, I'm also a Kalenjin and understand that. Yuet is the act of smearing wet cow dung on the tits of a cow to control the ndama,
to discourage the ndama,
or rather to discourage the ndama
from
suckling from that cow. And this is figuratively used. Mheshimiwa is saying that he wants to reduce the foreign trips. And in a rejoinder, wewe ukakuja ukasema, Mheshimiwa, wachana na propaganda, omba kura. What is your take about this narrative of controlling the foreign trips? And as we go into that, maybe you can clarify budget ya MCAs ya foreign trips ni kiasi gani? Mheshimiwa Lesoneta anasema ni 700 million. Ni shilingi ngapi?
Asante sana bwana SK. For sure, hata ukiona hiyo clip yangu niliongea, I was very angry. Simply because Mheshimiwa Lesonet is talking pure lies. Very pure lies. The budget for Baringo County Assembly is not even 700 million. It is 689. That's as per the ceiling.
That's the entire budget.
The entire budget of the county assembly.
To cater for salaries. In allowances, the fuel, the office stationery. We have the electricity bill, the water bill. So how much goes to trips?
In fact,
both local and foreign.
In fact, because I'm a budget member also, we use around 9 million to 12 million for foreign trips, and it is their right. Honestly speaking, it is the right of MCS. We have to do what is called benchmarking. We do benchmarking. You don't expect a leader to be as equal as a village man in the village. Who will teach the other one? Kiongozi akiwa ana hiyo ujuzi ama hajawahi ona hiyo kitu. Tutakuja public participation tuseme tunataka weka pesa kwa milk plant. Tunataka weka pesa kwa kitu fulani, na kiongozi mwenyewe ana idea.
So these trips
will lead the other one
are for purposes of capacity
building. Building.
Kama wewe kama majority leader, how many trips have you gone?
Asante sana bwana SK. Na uliponita interview and na siku hizi nimekasirika sana. I always work with my passport because Mheshimiwa Lesonet anajaribu kuenweka propaganda mpaka kwa kijijini kule naanza kuitwa balozi. Ati Lawi ametembea Tanzania mpaka askari wa traffic wakamuuliza, wewe unafanya kazi gani? Wewe ni balozi ya Kenya kule Tanzania? That's a pure lie.
Sasa umetembea ngapi?
I've traveled to Arusha for only 2 times. That is.
And in total, how many trips have you?
I've gone for only 4 trips.
4 trips.
Only 4 foreign trips. Foreign trips means going overseas. This for Tanzania is called a regional trip. So I've managed to go to Tanzania twice, Singapore once, and Greece. The recent trip once.
Why did you go to Tanzania before you show us evidence?
Tanzania, we went there to benchmark story ya tourism. Wakati ya mambo ya COVID, tukakuta kwamba Tanzania inaendelea na tourism, and they are still fetching a lot of money from the tourism sector. I hope you heard Suluhu saying, you know, when this COVID issue started, Tanzania never closed their country. And tourists were going there, so we wanted to see how do they do.
And what did you bring to Baringo that has changed? Did you manage to bring anything?
In fact, change haikuangi safari moja bwana SK. Change huwa ifanyike safari moja. Source kubwa ya Baringo inakuanga tourism. Na sasa wakati sisi tulipofunga mambo ya tourism hapa Baringo, tulipofunga mambo ya mahoteli manini ya COVID, revenue ikashuka from 350 million mpaka 150 million. So we have really lost a lot.
So you have to look for ways of Singapore, what was the purpose of the trip?
The trip of Singapore is that we are very much away kwa mambo ya historia kwamba Singapore ilikuwa ina loan Kenya by 1960. Kenya ilikuwa ina loan Singapore wakati Kenya ilipata independence. Singapore ilipata independence nyuma ya Kenya. And as we talk about SK, Singapore is imegrow kabisa. So we wanted to go and benchmark how do they make their money.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
2013, 2017.
Yeah.
I can remember clearly, even our governor then, alienda Singapore with some MCAs.
Yeah.
Nyinyi pia mukaenda with some MCAs. Where is the value? Kuna huyu MCA alienda na governor, na huyo governor pia akaondoka. Wewe sasa umeenda ukaondoka. When will the people of Baringo get to benefit from the capacity that you're going to collect there? That is something that I'm sure it is of concern to anybody who is watching this show. Yeah.
But anyway, I can see now you are also dragging me to the issue of the trip. You are dragging me to the trip. I just want to say this, but and it is good to elaborate.
Well,
I've gone to Tanzania twice. It's good to see, madam.
So you can use that camera to show you.
Yeah. I've gone to Tanzania twice.
Onesha hiyo camera mheshimiwa.
Can see here. I've gone to Tanzania. Tanzania, that was on 25th November 2019 and 2021, 29th July.
Are you able to get it clearly?
Are you getting it? Unaiona? Haya. After Tanzania, this is the one for Ravine. This is the one for Greece.
That is the one you're saying you're very proud.
Yeah, I'm proud of it because what I learned in Greece is what I'm now preaching to my people nikiwa kule ground. Greece ni nchi imekauka sana, but they are very rich because they have capitalized on making wine. They grow a lot of grapes, they make wine, and they make money.
And those are very serious ideas. And that is the reason why I was asking you, Mheshimiwa. Sichukulie ni kama I'm dragging you there.
We want to implement that.
I'm also a resident of Baringo. The fact that I'm leading this conversation doesn't mean that I'm a lesser or I should be very neutral. I should not be concerned about issues that are happening in my county. My concern is about the future, for example. You are an MCA now. The value or the knowledge that you've gotten from ile knowledge umepata pale Greece, how fast? There's something you want to show before we continue?
I'm tracing the one for Singapore, but I went there in 2019. I've only managed 4 trips. I wanted to come there, and since time is not with us.
Tarudi hapo, tutamaliza sahi. We only have 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to understand is it trips, MCAs wakienda, I'll be an MCA today, then I get voted out. What can we do as a county to ensure that the knowledge that I bring home is documented and is implemented?
Bwana SK,
wewe ukienda Greece, for example, do you document what?
We have a report.
There's a report.
There is no single trip that is done without a report.
Now, as a majority leader, can you commit to the people of Baringo kwamba watu wakitembea, the MCAs, the governor, the executive, wakienda wakuje na hii report isalale ika collect dust, it to be implemented or ideas to be pulled, ndio isaidie watu?
Unajua bwana SK, these trips kama sai for the recent one ile nimeenda Greece. So unasikia nimekuambia mambo ya industrialization, how you can make your own factory kwa village, uunde wine, utumie fruits, vitu kama hizo. You will have that mind ukiwa kwa village, you will have that mind usaili una allocate pesa. Uwezi kubali kuweka pesa what fund ile vitu unajua sio viable. We also saw a lot of fruit canning in factories. In Greece they grow a lot of oranges and they pack their fruits and export them.
Brilliant ideas.
Yeah. So vitu kama hizo kiongozi akiwa informed. Hakuna kitu mzuri kama saa zile kiongozi yako informed.
So in your opinion,
na mtu asikue jilasi. Because you cannot be a blind leader who lead blind. Silent, you will not be blind.
All of you and lead each other.
It's good moja akuwa amekuwa exposed. My point is this. Mheshimiwa Lesonet is preaching water and drinking wine. Mheshimiwa Lesonet mwenyewe, we are informed from our own investigation. He has gone for 78 foreign trips.
Tutamleta hapa pia ajitetee.
Get it from me. If you go to his wall.
Wewe umeleta proof kwamba umeenda zako.
Make sure bwana SK, once he come here, he must come with his passport.
Akuje na passport.
Yeah, because we went wakati alipongea mambo tukaenda wall yake ya Facebook. Na tukapata trips kama 5. Ila amesema nimeenda Philippines, nimeenda wapi. The recent one ile niliona ya mwisho ya 2016, alienda Nigeria. Na mimi nataka akuja akanusha hapa mwenyewe. So I was wondering what can somebody go and benchmark in Nigeria? Because what we know in Nigeria is just mambo ya majuju na kila kitu. So we also want him to come clear asitumie populist vote. Unajua kuna ile populist vote ya kusulubisha wengine alafu uonekane clean. I'm telling you bwana SK Mheshimiwa Lesonet aliclean kiti yake kwa kupitia fitina. If I can remember very well, I think nilipokuwa nafanya introduction yangu I told you ya kwamba I was working with the office of Mheshimiwa Sirma. Na nilipokuwa nafanya kwa ofisi ya Mheshimiwa Sirma, Lesonet came to power kwa kutumia propaganda peke yake. Huyu mtu ameiba, amefanya nini? And that's how he has sustained it. And I'm telling every time ame sustain kwa kutumia tu propaganda, amefanya, incite, amefanya hivi.
Well,
but anyway we don't have any, those are the past.
We may not discuss much about him. I think it was clear it was purely around the conversation on controlling foreign trips.
But for this one, as the majority leader, I will not allow him to come and demonize the assembly. The assembly are doing their good work. In fact, Baringo County recently was ranked number 3 national-wide. Kwamba it is a county assembly yenye inafanya kazi yake kulingana. We were number 3. So somebody should not come and demonize the assembly in the process ya kutafuta votes, because unajua raia wetu wanaweza penda sana that narrative ya kusema aiwete aliyo. So I must come out clearly and defend my fellow MCS. Ukisikia kazi kama unakuambia bwana SK sisi kama MCS Ravine tumenunua machines. Unafikiri kwa hiyo miaka 15 Lesonet angeshika CDF yake na consolidate na kununua machines kama ya Manda kwa ya Lami, tungekuwa na Lami ngapi Eldama Ravine?
Well, you've had your word, and I think our time has really gone. Maybe I can go through the comments before we discuss a little bit of the county tumalizie, then we go to the national politics. Not much of the comments coming up. Someone is saying, Edwin Bonyata, give the devil its due. Lawi has answered his question as expected.
Kabisa.
Well, we are happy, and maybe should you have any other concern, you can tell us where you're watching from and give us your comment on the comment section. And maybe with for the people behind the machines or other fundi wa mitambo, you can give me the SMSs if they are there. You can also give me the WhatsApp comments if they are there. Then we will read them out as we conclude the show. Back to the county politics. Comparing the previous regime and the current regime, how can you rate the current regime where you are the majority leader? You've managed to pass all the government-related bills or any government agenda at the assembly. Umeskuma zote. How are you performing compared to the previous?
Honestly, bwana SK, I can say that we can say the previous regime really did a lot. You know why? By that time, the evolution was still new. The president, our two principals were reading from the same page. But as we talk now, devolution is being in a fight left, right, and center. It's being fought left, right, and center. And if I want to prove you kwamba devolution is being fight left, right, and center, 2013, 2017, no any governor was impeached. They tried at Wambora, 1, 2, 3, but he never went. But in this regime of 2017, 2018, how many governors have gone home?
Quite a number,
when
starting from the capital
city Nairobi, that's Sonko, going to Babayao, going to Waiguru survived. So when you threaten the governors, you are threatening devolution. Also, there are a lot of hurdles in procuring of projects. You cannot compare money from the national government and money from the county government. There is a lot of bureaucracy when it comes to the procurement of projects being done by the county government. That's why unasikia watu wanasema pesa imerudishwa. Pesa huwa irudishwi. Pesa huwa inafika hiyo mwaka haijakonsumiwa. So it rolls to the other year. So, I know when I bring the issue of rollover, I'll start another debate.
Kama tunapewa 5 billion, kama uja spend 2.5 billion, utaongezewa tu 2.5 peke yake.
Utaongezewa
ndio ijae 5.
Itakuja 7 point. You love your money, but utakuwa unaambiwa kwanza consume ile uko nayo. Yaani chiwi ile uko nayo lakini bado iko kwa resource envelope yako.
Well, let's not dwell on that. I just needed to know.
It's a big debate. Nikianza mambo ya rollover, it's a very big debate.
Our time has really gone.
But the previous regime walikuwa na hapa. Walikuwa na pesa ya transition, devolution was still new. Hata ungeenda kuprocure kitu ungeprocure within 2-3 days imeenda. Lakini sasa they have believed uko juu. They believe kwamba pesa county zinakuliwa. So wameweka bureaucracy kubwa. Ndio unakuta performance ya county zinaenda chini. The national government also is broke. And they don't want to say that they are broke. When they are broke, they tell you people that we are not going to pay this because you have not attached this document. We are not going to pay this because you have not attached so and so. They delay the payment. And these are really discouraged contractors. For information, Bwana SK, no any contractor is willing to do the county jobs for you currently. On the same, in your view, in the previous regime, 21 out of 30 MCAs, elected MCAs, walienda nyumbani. Yeah. Hii regime, do you think it will be any better? 75% will survive. 75% of MCAs will survive. That goes against Mheshimiwa Kiplimo's view. He was one of the casualties of 2017. Alikuwa hapa na akasema wengi hata kuliko wakati ule wa Kiplimo is my great friend, my neighbor, but let me tell you the truth. You can now hear Kiplimo selling Mheshimiwa Cheboy. But in that regime where he was the deputy speaker, he was fighting the governor. With us, we have tried as much as possible. We just can't impeachment the governor. Because we knew when the executive, ikifight na MCAs, casualty in raia. So we tried as much as possible to solve our problems amicably, without raising any noise. And in that process, Bwana SK, tulijaribu sana. Atusemi ya kwamba tulielewana na governor kwa kila kitu. But most of the things we have been solving kwa mkunji. Kwa nini? Because we knew our governor ile tunampenda. Na ambaye sisi kama MC atumpendi, raia wanampenda sana. Kwa ile kura walimpigia. So sisi we knew that ya kwamba tukianza kufanya mambo ya kupigana vita hapa na pale, na labda governor yetu angepelekwa kule Nairobi, Senate, angerudi. So unaelewa, I hope you understand, kulingana na political environment ya nchi. Tumeelewa. Yeah. Mheshimiwa, you've supported the government of the day through your position as the majority leader. Yeah. Will this government survive a re-election? It will. It will, depending on who are the aspirants. All right. You know, in any political scenario. Fair enough. I don't want to put you in a position of starting to campaign. But I'm assuring you the MCAs, 75%. I'll come back to this studio. 75% will survive. I hope you are one of them. Yeah. Very. I'm happy, at least you're confident that you will be making a comeback in the next election. Yeah. Now, finally, we've seen the Deputy President making a 5-day tour in the eastern part of Mount Kenya region. That is a section where Raila was about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. What's your take about the general perspective of his reception? Secondly, back to the UDA popularization in Baringo, we can see some level of intolerance. Mtu anaweka wheelbarrow Marigat, inashukishwa, inachomwa. Bwana SK, pale Kabarnet, the same thing happened. Bwana SK, let none lie to you. And it is also the same thing that you are responding to when the Deputy President was in Nyanza. Yeah. Alienda pale, akapigwa mawe. The case is being investigated right now. What is your take about the national politics and the current wave of UDA versus ODM? Okay, thank you very much, Bwana SK. When it comes to national politics, let me start from Baringo. Let nobody lie to you kwamba Baringo kuna chama ingine. There is no any other party in Baringo. Baringo will be UDA, and all aspirants, all the aspirants for all positions. If you will not be from UDA, you will never see that seat. I can only say that you can exempt Yati. It's good to be honest. We can exempt Yati because that's where Kanu has been playing its politics. But all these other 5 sub-counties, that is Marigat, Baringo Central, Eldama Ravine, Mogotio, Baringo South, all of them will deliver the UDA seats. These other shenanigans of dropping the wheelbarrows, banding it, it's done at night actually. If you try to see it, it's done at night. These are cowards. These are people who behave like witchcrafts. In fact, I'm telling you that's being done by Kano Moors, and they are very few, by the way. In Kabarnet, I can tell you they are not more than 10 people. So UD is the party of the day in Baringo, and we are not ashamed of it, and I'm telling you we'll deliver in Baringo. Fair enough. When it comes to the Deputy President, we wish him well. The Deputy President is doing a lot. He's overworking. And I'm asking you because you've been a very serious defender. A staunch supporter of the Deputy President. Let him do his best. We are praying for him. Let him still have that energy he has. Let it still remain with him. But when it comes to the mountain, I think the only problem he has is the governors. And I think you could see him complaining of Kericho and others. Yeah, the governors are fighting from the central part of the mountain, and the eastern part. But I'm assuring you that the mwananchi, the real mwananchi in this government, Bwana SK, hii serikali ya sasa, yule mtu anaumia kabisa ni mwananchi. I can tell you, uchumi ya hii Kenya imeharibika na imegonga sana mwananchi wa kawaida. Na ule mwananchi wa kawaida ule wa wheelbarrow ule wa chini, they will never vote the Raila government. You know why? The Raila government will just come and it proceed as status quo. The Raila government will do what Uhuru wants. They will do what the likes of Gideon wants. So people have waited. Raila was a very good fighter from the word go. He fought for this country. He fought for amendments of sections of the constitution. But he has started to be a sellout. When you see now Raila moving with the dynasties, I mean, he's becoming a sellout. And I'm telling you, Ruto now has the support of those people from the ground who used to support Raila before. They are now with Ruto.
There's a clip, a section of what we played a few minutes ago. You're telling our senator that he needs to take a bold step and support William Ruto. And you mentioned an array of positions he can take, including a Statehouse controller. Do you think he can do that?
Maybe because of his pride, he cannot do it. But I'm telling you, Bwana SK, Gideon Moi has no option. He has no option. Because when you see the other camp, they were depending on BBI. That's failed. And then in this other camp, the Okoa Kenya. In fact, I think they are confused. I don't even know where they are now. So you see now it's turning to be a two-horse race. It's a race between William Ruto and Raila Odinga. So where are the Oka? The Oka principles, they are nowhere to be seen. And actually, I was discussing with my friend somewhere, and they told me that it's as if this Gideon is being used to tie the Oka guys, because it's as if he's tying them for Raila to go and campaign. But if he doesn't join William Ruto in Rift Valley, he will be nowhere in politics of Rift Valley in future.
Well, if he's being used to tie the rest of the candidates, that sounds like he's also playing at the national level, maybe. And that is exactly what the Senator Malala was saying. He was saying that Gideon Moi, the KANU chairman and the presidential candidate for KANU, is wasting their time because somehow he is aligned more to Raila than the OKA alliance. Something like that. Well, it's been a 1 hour and about 10 minutes conversation with the Mheshimiwa Lawi Kipchumba, and I think at this moment we would be giving him an opportunity to give his final remarks before we close the show. Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
You've had 1 hour. What can you tell the people of Baringo as a majority leader and your people at Lembu's Queen?
With the people of Baringo, I'm telling them the gubernatorial cities has a lot of aspirants, but they should be keen with only one.
Let them, to that camera.
Let them elect Chiboy, let them elect Kiptis, let them elect anyone. But these other one called Lesonet. No, I'm telling my Baringo people, this person is a tricky guy, a very tricky guy. Having in mind that I come from Ravine constituency and I know him very well. And for the few days he has been campaigning, he's nowhere in Ravine, but he's just going there, going to Tiati, going to everywhere, so that he can come and fool people in Ravine that have been accepted elsewhere. Those are the cards he has been playing, and I'm telling Baringo people to be very much keen on him. Not elect this guy because he's a very dangerous guy. He's an accountant by profession.
Well, Mheshimiwa, somebody may think that we brought you here to be campaign for other people. And maybe to our viewers, hayo ni maoni ya Mheshimiwa, and we gave him an opportunity to address you as the majority leader. Unaambia nini watu wako wa
Lembu's Queen? Nawaambia ya kwamba bado watu wa Lembu's Queen wakumbuka. Maoni yangu ni yale. I'm still determined to work for you people, and I'll come and defend my seats. Asanteni sana.
Well, thank you, Mheshimiwa, for creating time to be with us here. And to you, the viewer, thank you for sticking around for the 1 hour and about 10 minutes. It's been a very electric conversation. And this is just one out of the many series of the conversations we'll be having around the vote. We've discussed about performance. We'll be looking at how well these aspirants are prepared and what kind of manifestos do they have. This is the platform where these people will have an opportunity to express themselves. And us as Baringo News and Ravine News and the company Eblit Media, ours is to give you a fair opportunity to listen to them and also get to ask them questions, if any. And all this will culminate towards helping you, the voter, to know who your leader is and whom to vote when it comes to 2022 elections. It's about 263 days right now to the vote on 9th of August 2022, and this will be the platform to help you make an informed decision. It's been a 1 hour and 10 minutes. Thank you for being with us. I've been your host, Komen SK. Have a good night and see you on Monday.